So today in cloud gaming news, we have tons of games to look at with Stadia. Geforce Now is launching over 30 games, and we're going to take a look at the latest news from Xbox Cloud Gaming, Amazon Luna, Boosteroid, and a subject that I absolutely want to talk about for quite a bit is Logitech is going to launch a new cloud gaming handheld device. You guys are going to want to listen to what I have to say about that. So Stadia earlier this week announced 3 games coming soon, and the highlight title is one that I've talked about before, in the Dungeon of Nechelbeck. I don't think I'm ever going to get that name right. According to Stadia, the game is coming soon. It's a tactical RPG where the adventure is humorous, but the gameplay here is fantastic. One thing that has completely stood out to me about this game, and I've covered this in several places, and I've seen people talk about this in different circles, is that everyone seems to agree that this game is just an absolute hit. It's very much well loved, and it's got me extremely curious about it, since especially I've never gotten a chance to try it out. But either way, I'm excited for it, and these types of turn-based games work really well on mobile, so that works out for me as well. So we'll see how it goes. From Space is also set to hit this autumn. This is a top-down twin-stick shooter with you or up to 4 players can go ahead and just battle out a bunch of aliens. I have to say, to me, the sequel here just looks absolutely improved from the original in almost every single way. The gameplay looks a lot more fun and just, I don't know, just looks snappy. The visuals, I mean, look a lot better as well. I mean, everything here just looks great. The next game here is Outbreak Contagious Memories, and it's a horror title that draws its inspirations from the old school Resident Evil titles. But what's interesting here is, I guess the sequel Outbreak Shades of Horror is a game not launched yet anywhere, and it already has a click to play trial. So if you want to get familiar with the games, you can play this newer title and play the demo, and I guess you can play the demo with no time limit. But one thing I didn't see was anything mentioning the newest game coming to Stadia, but I am assuming it is. And either way, this is great advertisement for your title and your franchise, having a playable demo with just a click to play button. Something that I've been telling you guys for months on this channel, that developers can really utilize these trials. You don't even necessarily need to mention that you're playing in the cloud, but just say, hey, you want to try out our demo? You can just click this button and you can launch on a browser and you're good to go. No questions need to be asked. So I love seeing this implementation of this. I think this is absolutely the future. This is just the start of cloud gaming just being more adopted, and utilizing it in demos is just a great way to try these games before you buy. So good stuff here. All right, so next piece of news here. Last week, a game dropped that I totally missed, and I just want to briefly mention it. Forgotten City is a game that might look familiar to you if you have played Skyrim. That's because this was a Skyrim mod, but it's made into its own title. It was one of the more popular Skyrim mods ever made, so you're getting a really heavy story here with this game, and it's super well loved. It's got tons of positive user reviews, and it's all around great get by being on Stadia. I love that Stadia was able to get a deal to get this game on here. Wish I didn't miss this last week, the news, but if you love Skyrim, this will be a great chance for you to jump into a completely new story in ancient Rome. It's available now in the Stadia store. Then a stealth drop last week in Neighbors Back from Hell. This is based on the game Neighbors from Hell 1 and 2 remastered. I think those games came out in early 2000. It's a game with a lot of humor, some puzzles, and just some plain goofiness all around. There was also an announcement for Bratz Flaunt Your Decision, and well, I feel it's safe to say we know who this game is aimed for. We also get a release date for DreamWorks' Dragon Legends of the Nine Realms. It's coming September 23rd. And finally, on the game news front, we have a massive free weekend already started right now. Far Cry 6 available to play, should be available to play on the Stadia store. This is absolutely a fun Far Cry title, and it features my absolute favorite Stadia feature in Stream Connect, guys. So if you find a friend to play with online, both of you can take full advantage of that. I absolutely urge you to do it. Also, the free-to-play ends on August 8th, so you got plenty of days to play this. Last thing I want to mention on the Stadia's news front is that we have Saints Row dropping on August 23rd, by far the biggest Stadia game to drop this year. You guys will be seeing full coverage of the game here on this channel, and Yars Recharged also hits Stadia later this month. All right, with that, Geforce Now this August is coming out with a whopping 38 titles, which I have to say is very impressive. Of course, Saints Row is the headline here as well, but one game I gotta say that has my eye, Rumbleverse. This is a free-to-play battle royale. You're only fighting here. You're not really shooting or anything like other battle royales. The gameplay to me just looks so fun. It's free to play as well. It's launching on GeForce Now this month. Then we have the game Thymesia. This is a new Dark Souls RPG. And well, we're going to go ahead now and just put the list of the rest of the 30 plus games. Some more standouts on here are Scathe. This will be on both Steam and the Epic Game Store. One game I'm personally going to buy, I think, is F1 Manager 2022. It's got a lot of buzz right now, and that could be because fans of other games like Motorsport Manager are highly interested in this one. I think Motorsport Manager is a game that I put around 50 plus hours into. I'm a huge fan of these types of games, and I think I'm going to be buying this one, so we'll see how it runs on GFN. But overall, guys, potentially one of the best months for GeForce Now in regards to games, if not the very best. There's really something here for everyone, and I gotta say, kudos to GFN. All right, so we're jumping into some Amazon Luna news, and Luna this month has an excellent array of games for free on Prime Gaming, with the biggest one being Control. Now, you get to play these array of games until the 31st of this month, so you absolutely can play a game like Control from start to finish if you have the time within this month and get pretty much a free experience in beating the entire game. Other games on here are Steel Assault, Myst, and Garfield Kart Curious Racing. So overall, some pretty decent games. Stay tuned, guys, because I'm going to have some exclusive coverage on Luna you guys are going to be very interested in. All right, jumping to our next news, Xbox this week has released the first half of their August games for Game Pass. I'll just throw those up on the screen. But the big news for me is Xbox has announced a new family plan. So if you guys wanted more people in on the cloud gaming, or just let others use Game Pass for whatever they use, console or PC, the new price is going to be $24.99 for those. Game Pass Ultimate itself is usually $14.99, so this is a $10 bump. But even if it's just one other person using it consistently, you're already kind of saving a little bit of money, though not a lot. And if it's more than two, well, then you're definitely getting a lot of savings. Either way, I love how this is now an option, and I think this is great stuff. I fully cover Game Pass on another channel, and it's just amazing to see how much value you already get. This completely just adds yet another layer to how much value you get out of Game Pass, and another layer to the equation. It's good stuff. All right, jumping to our next news, Boosteroid has been launching more games as usual. This week is a total of 9 for them. Last week they also dropped games like Multiverse and Days Gone and others. I have to say, Multiverse is just blowing up right now. It's essentially a Super Smash Bros. Clone, but this game just looks super fun. And the games this week that have dropped on Boosteroid are XCOM 2, Northgard. These are 2 games that I've reviewed. They are amazing. We're talking you're getting 50 hours to 100 hours of value of just gaming with these titles. So I have to say, good stuff, good pickups. And as always, I'll have my link below for you guys to try out Boosteroid. It's in the description. If you guys use my link, I do get a small kickback, and that helps support the channel. And finally, let's hit our last piece of news that I'm really wanting to talk about. I'm excited about this. The announcement of Logitech and Tencent are working on a handheld that will support cloud gaming only. And this is set to launch later this year in 2022, so holy crap, I'm excited. Some of the services that it will utilize are Xbox Cloud Gaming, GeForce Now, but I've also seen talks of Stadia will also be supported, and I'm also assuming that Luna will also be a part of that as well. And we're talking a completely dedicated device here, guys, and I'm very deadly curious how this will look. There's no visuals yet of how this is going to actually look, but I have to say, I have been very vocal for years that I think a dedicated cloud gaming device would be amazing. One that is seriously looking to have the best network card possible in this device, one that will come cheaper than a phone or a Steam Deck, but also be much bigger than your typical phone or even tablet, or at least at the very minimum tablet size. I've gotten laughed at because most people say, why bother with a dedicated cloud device when you can just use your phone, or you can just use your tablet, or you can just use your laptop? But the truth is that it's not a perfect device, or those devices are not perfect for mobile or for cloud gaming. Now, the gamepads, in my opinion, that come with mobile devices like the Backbone One and the Kishi, they're not the best. I've reviewed them all. I hate using game clips, and the truth is phones can be annoying with actual phone calls or notifications. I mean, yeah, you can turn them off, but sometimes you need those actually on. Not only that, but a dedicated device can really just focus on the gaming aspects, and since it is cloud gaming only, I don't think it'll be super expensive because you wouldn't need a crazy GPU GPU. So I'm not really sure what Logitech is planning for this device, but I can tell you that it would be absolutely much cheaper than a Steam Deck, and it could be even more convenient because you're not worried about hard drive space in any single way. You can even potentially, and I'm very much assuming this is going to happen, I would bet anything on this, that they'll set up some sort of mobile chip and mobile plan, so that way you can go ahead and sign up for your local, phone service as well when you don't have Wi-Fi. So for me, this is something that I've wanted Google to do for a long time. I've been calling for it on this channel, but now I'm really glad that there's other companies that are seeing the value, and they definitely must think there's a market for this, otherwise they wouldn't do it. And I'm curious what other platforms will continue. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox drops their own mobile cloud device at some point as well, but we're talking years down the line. Meanwhile, Logitech and Tencent are going to fill that gap. So I have to say, as you guys, if you can't tell, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. My goodness. With that, guys, click the videos on the screen if you guys want some of the best games you can play on cloud gaming today. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds.